Greetings and welcome to the Miss Smith Presents YouTube channel. Happy May, blessed Beltane to all of you. I hope you are lighting fires safely outside and in your lives. I'll walk away from that now. We are live here in Salem, Oregon. And all that means is we've had really good luck with our internet connection, go Comcast. And but just in case something happens, you might want to refresh your browser just in case something's going on. It might be from your end. In case it is from our end, just hold on. And if we get the connection back, we will continue. If for some reason we need to end the live stream, please stay on this channel, the Miss Smith Presents channel, and then you will get a notification that we have gone live again as soon as we have a new connection. So I want you all to be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I think we're pretty great. I think there's some great stuff on it. But that will also enable you to use the chat window. And I gotta say right now, the chat is really where it's at. That is our virtual audience room, right? And I have to say, in the beginning of pandemic, I kind of got a little annoyed with the chat on Zoom, the chat on YouTube. I was like, oh, and then I realized, oh my gosh, that's our community. That is where we are greeting each other right now, right? And we have so many people that are in the chat window that have become friends and are starting to, June Camerling, hey woman out there, I know that you're watching, or actually she might have to watch us in 30 minutes because she just adopted a dog. We love you. That made no sense, but that's okay. But June Camerling met all of these people basically in the chat window. And then finally got to meet some people in person, and it was just a really awesome experience. So it's a really great way to connect to people. But also, if you have subscribed to the channel, you will get a notification that says we are live, and we'll keep you informed of videos and live streams and things that are going on. So I would encourage you to subscribe to the YouTube channel and also just poke around. Check us out. We've got some really great programming on there, some phenomenal artists. Speaking of phenomenal artists, today, Dr. Aurora Sherman returns for Love Wins 5. This is actually her 6th fundraising concert, the 5th under the title of the Love Wins series. This is Hold Fast to Dreams. That is a piece that we are going to perform later in the live stream by the fantastic African-American composer Florence Price. And today we are benefiting the National Association to Advance Black Birth. Their website is just phenomenal. I would encourage you to visit it, naabb.org, National Association to Advance Black Birth. It says boldly, advocating for Black birth, a new nonprofit voice for the loudest silence. Friends, we have a problem. We have a racial issue here in America, but we have a real problem. Our Black mothers and our Black children are dying at an alarming rate. We have some statistics later on in the show, but we were searching for a local beneficiary. If you are a local beneficiary listening to this and going, hey, wait a minute, please get in touch with me, because we searched for a local beneficiary that directly was addressing and helping Black mothers and Black children, and we couldn't find it. There were a lot of, oh, we hope to do this, or we have an initiative, or we're going to look into that, or we really, that sounds great. We're going to try, there was nothing, just, yes, this is an issue. This is how we're handling this. This is what we're doing to help. So we are proud today to be working with the National Association to Advance Black Birth. We are giving directly to their Midwife Scholarship Fund. And I'm going to ask everyone, if you would please go through my website, misssmithpresents.com. I have a link in there to donate. And if you could give to my organization, we are going to write one large check. If you go onto the NAABB website, they have tiers of giving. There is an Imani level. It was like over $1,000 somewhere in there. I would really love to do that. I would really love to give one big donation to them in honor of Dr. Sherman. It would just make my day. So, and Dr. Sherman's as well, I'm sure. So as generous as you are able to be, please give to this organization. It really is a way to tangibly help the Black community in America right now. Without further ado, it is just my honor and privilege to accompany this fantastic woman. Aurora and I have been working together for several years. We burn passionately for social justice. Several of the shows that she has done was simply coming from, this is too much. It's just too much. It's just too much. The situation's too much. I said, let's do a show. Right? And it just became a thing. We were thinking of something annual. I think we're on our 3rd show this year because there is stuff to do and people to help. So it is such a privilege to work with this woman, and I can't wait to introduce you to her. Coming back to the carpet, I can't wait. Loved Ones 5, Hold Fast to Dreams. Please welcome Dr. Aurora Sherman.
She was walking in the street, looked up and noticed he was nameless, he was homeless. She asked him his name and told him what hers was. He gave her a story about life with a glint in his eye and a corner of a smile. One conversation, a simple moment, the things that change us if we notice when we look up. Sometimes they said I would never make it, but I was built to break the mold. The only dream that I'll be chasing is my own. So I sing a song for the hustlers trading at the bus stop, single mothers waiting on a check to come, young teachers, student doctors, sons on the front line, knowing they don't get to run. This goes out to the underdog. Keep on keeping at what you love, and you'll find that someday, soon enough, you will rise up, yeah. She's riding in a taxi back to the kitchen, talking to the driver about his wife and his children, on the run from a country where they put you in prison for being a woman and speaking your mind. And she looks in his eyes in the mirror and he smiles. One conversation, a simple moment, the things that change us if we notice when we look up. Sometimes they said I would never make it, but I was built to break the mold. The only dream that I'll be chasing is my own. So I sing a song for the hustlers trading at the bus stop, single mothers waiting on a check to come, young teachers, student doctors, daughters on the front line, knowing they don't get to run. This goes out to the underdog. Keep on keeping at what you love, and you'll find that someday, soon enough, you will rise up, yeah. Everybody rise up. You're gonna rise up. So sing a song for the hustlers waiting at the bus stop, mothers waiting on a check to come, young teachers, student doctors, sons on the front line, knowing they don't get to run. This goes out to the underdog. Keep on keeping at what you love, and you'll find that someday, soon enough, you will rise up, yeah. welcome again to Love Wins 5 Hold Fast to Dreams. This is, as Stephanie said, our 6th collaboration since 2019. Tonight is a celebration of female African-American composers and musical artists. Underdog is sung and was written by living artist Alicia Keys, a 15-time Grammy-winning singer-songwriter. In this show, we want to uplift the multiplicity of Black and African-American experiences in the United States over time, especially the experience of Black women. We live in a time of heightened racial tensions, challenges which are a continuation of centuries of systemic oppression and indifference. Yet Black excellence persists in spite of the lingering stench of violent discrimination throughout our nation. Every day on television or our phone screens, we must bear witness to state-sponsored terrorism carried out from the over-policing and murder of our Black siblings. Today, our selections address the inhumanity of slavery, resistance and escape, and families and children. Thank you so much for any support you can give to our beneficiary, NAABB, who are working tirelessly to improve the lives and outcomes for Black birthing people, their infants, and their partners. We're especially excited to be able to support the Black Midwives Scholarship Program, and you yourself can go to www.naabb.org at any time and check out this really amazing organization. Florence Price is noted as the first African-American woman recognized as a symphonic composer, the first to have a composition played by a major orchestra. Our next song by Price describes a mother's imagining of her baby's future, an experience familiar to millions of parents around the world. But in the United States, the brutal disparity in labor and delivery outcomes between white compared to African-American mothers and infants cannot be ignored. To My Little Son, with poetry by Julia Johnson Davis, will be followed by a set that highlights Price's many collaborations with poets, including the celebrated poet Langston Hughes for Song to the Dark Virgin. Night is set to a poem by Louise C. Wallace. And finally, Sympathy uses a deeply moving poem by Paul Laurence Dunbar describing the prison of slavery. This is composer Florence Price. In your face I sometimes see shadowings of the man to be. Dream of what my son shall be. Dream of what my son will be. In 20 years and one. When you are to manhood grown, and all your manhood ways are known, then shall I wistful try to trace the child you once were in your face. Would that I were a jewel, a shattered jewel, that all my shining brilliance that I were a flame, but one sharp leaping flame to annihilate thy body. Thou night comes, the Madonna clad in sandaled blue, rose red her mouth, and deeper eyes, she lights her stars, and droops to where beneath her silver lamp the moon upon a couch of shadow lies. The dreamy child, the wearied I know what the caged bird feels, alas, when the sun is bright on the upland slopes, when the wind stirs soft through the springing grass, and the river flows like a stream of glass. When the first bird sings and the first bud opes, and the faint perfume from the chalice steals, I know what the caged bird feels. I know why the caged bird beats his wing till the blood is red on the cruel path, for he must fly back to his perch and cling, when he fain would be on the bough a swing, and the pain still throbs in the head. All the scars, and they pulse again with a keener sting. I know why he beats his wing. I know why the when his wing is bruised and his bosom sore, when he beats his bars and he would be free. It is not a carol of joy or glee, but a prayer that he sends from his heart's deep core. But a plea that upward to heaven he flings, I know the aged bird sings. Thank you. Undine Smith Moore, known as the Dean of Black Women Composers, was a 20th century composer, professor of music, and a renowned teacher. She once stated that she experienced, quote, teaching itself as an art. Two pieces by Moore are next. I Am in Doubt, describing the experience of the frailty of love, and Watch and Pray, a dialogue between mother and daughter about being sold away from the rest of their family down to Georgia. While all slavery was brutal, the terror of being sold down to Georgia, which could mean anywhere in the deep U.S. South, reflects the diabolic conditions of plantation slavery, which supported unimaginable profits for rice and then cotton-growing slaveholders at the expense of enslaved people. It is not accidental that we are currently fighting over voting rights in Georgia today. This is Undine Smith Moore. I'll love you until stars fall. Cannot be so sure. So listen as my heart demands of one whose lightest touch upon my Mama, is Massa going to sell us tomorrow? Yes, yes, yes. Mama, is Massa going to sell us tomorrow? Yes, yes, yes. Mama, is Massa going to sell us Watch and pray. Is he going to sell us down to Georgia? Down to Georgia, down to Georgia, down to Georgia, down to Georgia. Mama, is Massa going to sell us down to Georgia? Yes, yes, yes. Is he going to sell us down to Georgia? Yes, yes, yes. Watch and pray. Oh, Mama, don't you grieve after me. Oh, Mama, don't you grieve after me. Watch and In 1929, at the age of 16, Margaret Bonds was one of the select few Black students accepted to Northwestern University, where she encountered a hostile, racist, and nearly unbearable environment. The poetry of Langston Hughes inspired her, as well as the traditional form of the spiritual, and we showcase both in our next set. 3 dream variations sets 3 Hughes poems into art song settings, together marking the uneasy position of African American citizens in the United States. Well, the spiritual Lord, I just can't keep from crying is both a lament and resistance, and was recorded by the phenomenal African-American soprano Leontine Price in her Carnegie Hall debut concert in 1965. Margaret Bonds. Because my mouth is wide with laughter and my throat is deep with song, you do not think I suffer after I have held my pen so long. Because my mouth is wide with laughter, you do not hear my inner cry. Because my feet are gay with dancing, you do not know I die. You do not know I die. To fling my arms wide in some place in the sun, to whirl and to dance till the white day is done, then rest at cool evening beneath a tall tree, while night comes on gently, dark like me. That is my dream. To fling my arms wide in the face of the sun, dance, whirl, whirl, till the quick day is done. Rest at pale evening, a tall slim tree, night coming tenderly, black like me, night coming tenderly, black like me. I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh strong. Tomorrow I'll sit at the table when company comes. Nobody'll dare say to me in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful Julia Perry arranged this version of Free at Last in 1951 based on a traditional melody. It is tempting to think of this song as being part of official emancipation in the United States, or even Juneteenth celebrations, the date when word of official emancipation finally reached the enslaved people in Galveston, Texas, 2.5 years late. But enslaved people freed themselves before emancipation, exercising agency and autonomy even in the midst of the most vicious situations, and formed communities of freed people, often in solidarity with indigenous community members, because both African and Native Americans were enslaved on plantations. Harriet Tubman had strong ties to Native tribes, and many stops on the Underground Railroad are on or near tribal lands. The promise of Free at Last has yet to be fully realized for African American and Native citizens, but singing it reminds us of the urgent need to do what we can where we are. Free at last, free at last, I thank God I'm free at last, free at last, free at last, I thank God I'm free at last. Serve you, Lord, while I have breath, I thank God I'm free at last. See my Jesus off to death. I thank God I'm free at last. At last, free at last, free at last. I thank God I'm free at last. Free at last, free at last. I thank God I'm free at last. Gone to heaven, gonna put on my shoes. I thank God I'm free at last. I'll walk around and spread the news. I thank God I'm free at last. At last. Some of these mornings, bright and fair, I'm going to meet my Jesus way in the air. I'm free at last, free at last. I thank God I'm free at last, free at last, free at last. I thank God I'm free at last. At last. I thank God I'm free at last.
This is the part in the script that says I talk, but that's also to give Dr. Sherman a bit of a vocal break. Her nickname was High A for quite a while, and now I have to call her High C. I was going to say this at the end of the live stream, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now, just to give her even more of a break. Something that I'm doing in my own studio, because I'm thinking, what can I do? How can I, if I'm not marching, if I'm not marching, I'll just say, if I'm not doing that, what can I do? What can I possibly do? And I think if everyone works for racial justice where they are, we'll get everything covered, right? Wherever you happen to be. And I just want to say, if you're a teacher that's listening right now, I never encountered any of this music. I have played for so many singers. After doing an undergraduate degree where I accompanied singers and a master's degree where I accompanied singers, and then I spent years accompanying singers, I never, ever was introduced to any of this music. This is the first time. I am 45 years old, and I have never heard of these people. Beethoven, sure. Mozart, sure. There are black composers of the keyboard. Florence Price is amazing. I'm in love with her. Now I had to practice. I'm serious. I really love this music. This is fine, fine music. So if you are a teacher, please find these pieces and assign them to your students. Please insist that they have a balanced binder. That's what I'm doing. I'm asking all of my students, if there is a Miss Smith production, there will be a black composer. And what's interesting is a lot of people come back with, it's actually a song that a black person sang, but the composer was white, right? And we're uplifting black composers, right? That's what I'm doing here. So I'm just asking in each live stream, please have at least one black composer. I would love it if all your music, right? What am I going to quote Ruth Bader Ginsburg, right? When will there be enough women on the Supreme Court? When there are 9, all of them. We've had all white people on the Supreme Court, so why not, have, I'm sorry, I said all white people. Boy, that was a slip, wasn't it? Sotomayor, I love you. So anyway, I'm going to leave out. Okay, I'm going to keep walking on this one. But just saying, so really and truly, take a look at your own folder. Take a look at your own library. If you're a reader, are you reading books written by African American authors? Are you singing music, playing music by black composers? That's a great place to start. Understand the repertoire, and just like you would do research with any other kind of music, understand when and where these people were composing and under what circumstance. I mentioned Beethoven. I understood him a lot more when I understood he was writing during a time of war. And moving around and having to defend his works and things like that. And so really getting inside this music and these writers has really done something great. So just thank you so much, Aurora. And I just want to say, once again, if you are listening to this, if you are a teacher, especially at the college level, please insist. Please insist. This is not about being woke. This is not about being PC. This is about being grossly unbalanced. Right? We just need to bring back balance to all that we do. To our beneficiary and the subject matter for today, why are we doing what we're doing? According to the CDC, if you just go on the CDC website, I did not have to look far. This information is right there for everyone. According to the CDC, black mothers in the United States die at 3 to 4 times a rate of white mothers. Put another way, a black woman is 22% more likely to die from heart disease than a white woman, 71% more likely to perish from cervical cancer, and here's why we're doing this today. 243 times more likely to die from pregnancy or childbirth related causes than a white woman. 243 times more likely. It's just, I have a quote here from our now Vice President Kamala Harris. She says, black mothers across the country face a health crisis that is driven in part by implicit bias in our healthcare system. Dr. Neil Sean in Boston, the common thread is that when black women expressed concerns about their symptoms, clinicians were more delayed and seemed to believe them less. This happened to Serena Williams very famously. She has a blood clotting disorder. Her uniform that Nike very carefully designed to help her with this became some sort of, crazy fashion. Oh, she's too sexy. It's like, really? She's too sexy wearing literally a medical band, her entire body. She played tennis in a medical band, and we dared to say, oh, she's too sexy. Okay. After she gave birth, I think it was the day after, she was in the hospital, went to the nurse and said, there is something wrong. I cannot breathe. I know what is happening. I'm having a blood clot in my lung. And the nurse said, it's probably just a side effect from your pain meds. You're probably just, feel. No, she had a blood clot in her lungs, right? Had to push. That is Serena Williams, a famous millionaire now married to a billionaire. If they're not listening to Serena Williams, they are not listening to just a common woman. Okay, we have to do something about this. So what we're sponsoring today is the Midwifery Scholarship through the National Association to Advance Black Birth. And from their website, the purpose is to equip midwives with practical tools and education they need to improve outcomes for Black women and persons. NAABB is committed to removing financial barriers in midwifery education. And so this scholarship, I believe they said they give $3,000 scholarships followed by 4 $500 scholarships. And, they were talking about how a lot of, we're talking about Black women right now, their babies are also in danger. And then also in hospitals, often they are watching the baby, but not monitoring the mother. And so we really have to do better. We really have to insist. So today, and whenever you are watching this live stream, please give generously. The next, I'd say 4 or 5 days, my website will be the place to give. Please go to misssmithpresents.com, and there will be a donate button. It'll go through my PayPal. If you want to send it to Venmo, that is my full name, Stephanie Lynn Smith, middle name has an E, L-Y-N-N-E. You can email me at misssmithpresents@gmail.com if you would like to send a check or anything like that. I'd like to pool our funds and give as much as we possibly can. And if you are watching this after the fact, please go to www.naabb.org and give as generously as you possibly can. I could talk about this all day, but I just got to bring you back because I love the remaining composers just as much as the ones that we've covered. So welcome back, Dr. Sherman. Thank you for your work.
Thank you. Our next song is by Tracy Chapman. She was born in 1964.
Yeah, Tracy.
Tracy's had multiple Grammy nominations, including 4 wins over 8 albums to date. She's one of my favorite role models in her social and political activism, using her music to help progressive organizations. This song, All That You Have Is Your Soul, is another mother-daughter dialogue. Say that 12 times fast.
Okay.
Yep. Focused on resistance to gender, race, and capitalistic oppression. All that you have is your soul. Oh, my mama told me. She said she learned the hard way. Says she wanted to spare the children. She say don't give or sell your soul away, 'cause all that you have is your soul. So don't be tempted by the shiny apple. Don't you eat of a bitter fruit. Hunger only for a taste of justice. Hunger only for a world of truth. 'Cause all that you have is your soul. I was a pretty young girl once. I had dreams, I had high hopes. I married a man, he stole my heart away. He gave his love, but what a high price I paid. And all that you have is your soul. tempted by that shiny apple. Don't you eat of a bitter fruit. Hunger only for a taste of justice. Hunger only for a world of truth, 'cause all that you have is your soul. Why was I such a young fool? Thought I'd make history, making babies was the best I could do. Thought I'd make something could be mine forever. Found out the hard way, one can't possess another, and all that you have is your soul. So don't be tempted by the shiny apple. Don't you eat of a bitter fruit. Hunger only for a taste of justice. Hunger only for a world of truth, 'cause all that you have is your soul. I thought that I could find a way to beat the system, make a deal and have no debts you pay. I'd take it all, I'd run away. Me for myself, first class and first rate, and all that you have is your soul. So don't be tempted by the shiny apple. Don't you eat of the bitter fruit. Hunger only for a taste of justice. Hunger only for a world of truth, 'cause all that you have is your soul. Here I am, I'm waiting for a better day. A second chance, a little luck to come my way. A hope to dream, a hope that I can sleep again and wake in a world with a clean conscience and clean hands, and all that you have is your soul. So don't be tempted by the shiny apple. Don't you eat of the bitter fruit. Hunger only for a taste of justice. Hunger only for a world of truth, 'cause all that you have is your soul. Oh, my mama told me, 'cause she said she learned the hard way. Say she wanted to spare the children. She say don't give or sell your soul away, 'cause all that you have is your soul. All that you have. All that you have. All that you have is your soul. There is one song in today's show not written by an African American woman. It is titled Birmingham Sunday. It has been recorded by the incredible Rhiannon Giddens, but was written by Richard Farina, brother-in-law of Joan Baez, who also recorded it and has performed it many times. Joan Baez has worked for racial and social justice for more than 70 years. She engaged in her first act of civil disobedience at the age of 17 in 1958. She's been arrested twice and continues anti-racism, anti-war work today. Say Their Names has been a trending hashtag in recent years related to the U.S. citizens murdered by police and others, including Michael Brown, Sandra Bland, Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Daunte Wright, and so many others. The script I wrote 7 days ago is already out of date because more people, more Black Americans have been murdered in that time. Many of you will know that Emmett Till was just 14 when he was lynched in 1954 on the word of a white woman who has since admitted she lied. And in Birmingham, Alabama, at 10:22 a.m. on September 15th, 1963, Addie Mae Collins, age 14, Cynthia Wesley, age 14, Carol Robertson, age 14, and Denise McNair, age 11, were killed by a bomb planted by white supremacists in the 16th Street Baptist Church. 20 others were also injured in the blast. Birmingham Sunday memorializes those girls and all children cut down by racism. Birmingham Sunday. Come round by my side and I'll sing you a song. I'll sing it so softly it'll do no one wrong. On Birmingham Sunday the blood ran like wine, and the choir kept singing of freedom. That cold autumn morning, no eyes saw the sun, and Addie Mae Collins, her number was 1. At an old Baptist church there was no need to run, and the choir kept singing of freedom. They were gray and the autumn wind blew, and Denise McNair's dark number was 2. The falcon of death was a creature they knew, and the choir kept singing of freedom. The church, it was crowded, but no one could see that Cynthia Wesley brought the number 23. Her prayers and her feelings would shame you and me, and the choir kept singing of freedom. Young Carol Robertson entered the door, and the number her killers had given was 4. She asked for a blessing, then asked for no more, and the choir kept singing of freedom. On Birmingham Sunday, a noise shook the ground, and people all over the earth turned around. For no one recalled a more cowardly sound, and the choir kept singing of freedom. The men in the forest, forest. The Sunday has come and the Sunday has gone, but I can't do much more than to sing you this song. I'll sing it so softly it'll do no one wrong, and the choirs keep singing of freedom. Thank you all so much for watching. Please help with this cause. Please help in any way that you can. Please donate at Miss Smith Presents. This is why I sing. This is why she plays. This is why we work to give back, to right? Yeah. To do something where we are. We're going to close with our title song, which brings us back to Florence Price and Langston Hughes. Their collaboration rings true for us now, decades after their deaths. This song uplifts and warns at the same time. Let us not let the dream of reproductive justice die. Let us acknowledge where we are failing, moms, parents, infants, children, and whole communities, and hold fast to the covenant to make the dream a reality. Our work continues. Hold fast to dreams. I would love to do one more song. Not at all surprising, there is one more prepared for you. Before that, I want to thank some really very special people in the studio, the amazing team of Stephanie, Brooks Graham.
Yeah.
Oh, Brooks, making us sound and look so good. Zan on the recording, thank you all so much. Thank you to Paul James France, who checked out sound at our tech rehearsal as well. I also want to give deep and abiding thanks to Lorenzo Ramsey, who at the almost very last minute, sorry, Renzi, gave me incredibly helpful script reviews. Any errors that remain are mine alone. I also need to say that I've really been leaning on my friends lately. There are too many of you to name, but I want you all to know that I appreciate each and every one of you very much. I will give a shout out to one special friend, Charlie Olson. Charlie gave me a really important pep talk last night when I might have been just a little bit nervous, and I appreciate that, Charlie, as always. Many thanks to Norm Duvall, who's been working on developing my voice. Great voice teacher. If anybody is in the local area and wants a voice teacher, I can highly recommend Norm. Thank you so much. To my daughter, Iris, who inspires me every day. My sister, my aunt, and my uncle for their kindness and generous support, and my family and friends spread out all over the world. Thank you all so much. For my encore, I'm going to sing Rise Up by Andra Day, a living artist now starring in the movie The United States versus Billie Holiday in the title role, for which she won a Best Actor Golden Globe and was nominated for Best Actress Academy Award. Her first album in 2016 was nominated for a Grammy, and the single from that album, this song, Rise Up, was also nominated as well. Rise Up. You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, and we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, rest yourself. Oh my goodness. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I come out of pandemic. I'm hiding all of my tears under this mask. Aurora, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope all of our listeners, I want you to walk away with hope. I want you to walk away with hope that we can do something. Not, oh my gosh, it's so bad. There's nothing that can be done. It's not true. It's absolutely not true. Take a look in your own library. Make sure that you have African American directors, African American composers, playwrights, musicians, composers, right? Just take a look at everything that's around you and make sure that you and your life is balanced, right? Next week, we have one more live stream. It's so special and wonderful to talk about this after this particular show. Corey Elliott Jinks, we are so happy for you. She is doing her debut concert next week. It's called Mother Knows Best. She is 7 months pregnant. She is so beautiful, so wonderful, just a wonderful human being. I know a lot of people are really rallying around her and really excited for the show. It's going to be a benefit for Northwest Housing Alternatives. All of this information is on my website. And of course, if you subscribe to my channel, you will get information about that as well. I just want to say to our local people, you need to vote. We have some people on the school board that we need to elect. And I will say it another way. We have some people running for school boards that do not need to be elected. And we're all a little afraid, right? Because this is an off season for voting. It's not a major election. And our children, the future of our public schools and who's in charge with them and what our children are receiving is at stake. So please, if you're watching this, especially Salem, my goodness, and now Corvallis. I know Portland, we've got our own stuff going on, but this really is very important that we pay attention and vote. And also shout out to Shane Kroll, one of our studio members who is living in Los Angeles. He was cast in a short film called Two Distant Strangers. It is right now on Netflix, and it just won the Academy Award for Best Short Film. Yes. So many great things happening. Look at me. You started it. She started it. I never get through Birmingham Sunday, and oh my goodness. So just, check out the website again and have a wonderful, wonderful day. May is here. Summer is coming. And we are all getting so close to getting back together to live performances. Until then, I'm thrilled to be here. Mom, I know that you're watching, so love you very much and can't wait to see you soon. All right, everybody, take care, and thank you very much for watching. Good day.